Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. And also keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, here we are after market close on Monday, October 18th. We're going to take a look at SoFi. SoFi obviously had a phenomenal day today. This is showing right now plus 7.59% on the day, a bit over 48 million in volume. That count is probably still trickling in, so it probably will be higher than that by the time all is settled. And, I would just like to take a moment to say congrats to folks who certainly back here and probably even back here felt like major bag holders and were pretty disheartened and disgruntled in many cases. I'm hoping that this is giving folks an opportunity to sort of rejigger their thinking on SoFi and put themselves in the best position possible. And for some folks, that may mean exiting their position green. It could mean a lot of different things, but I do hope folks are taking the opportunity that we've been given here with SoFi being so green now for several days or weeks in a row to get themselves into a better positioning than they may have felt that they were in back here. Okay, so the lay of the land for today, we're going to take a look at the daily chart here and some key points that we are crossing at the moment. There's several of them. And then we're going to take a look at the intraday, just look for any additional patterns or how, the price action reacted throughout the day. And then we'll take a look at a quick news item and then the short interest, and we'll call it a video. So 3 major nexus points coming together. We talked about this yellow long-standing resistance line on the weekly. We talked about this last Friday, and this has been in place since February, and then it touched it again in June, and now it's touching it again. Now, what it's going to do at this point is pretty critical, because if it can establish above this yellow line, that's nexus point number 1, that to me would provide the biggest potential explosive power for this SoFi breakout that we're in the midst of at the moment, because that is such a long-standing resistance level that if it clearly establishes a candle over this, and this may take a few days to play out, not because we may see red days, of course we may see red days, but even if we do continue to see green days, to be able to get the price action thoroughly through that yellow resistance level and then establish a full candle in the clear, that I don't think would logistically play out until at least Wednesday, maybe even further down the line. But that to me is the next big opportunity to basically accelerate this breakout even further. Now, the other nexus points that I'm looking at, I'll go from the most impactful to the least impactful. So the next most impactful thing to me is this white channel. So as I've been saying since we put this channel in, like back here somewhere, or maybe even back here, this is the escalator up. This was the initial price accelerant. The yellow line is now the most fierce, the strongest price accelerant in my opinion. But this white channel we had been talking about previously was the accelerating factor, and it's now trying to leave that to the upside, which is very exciting. I mean, I was excited on this day when the price action was clearly in the middle of the channel, because I thought that this might carry itself up and through. I certainly didn't expect the day today to be as phenomenal as it has been. I kind of thought we would sort of stay in this channel, and we could of course come back into it, but that would then give us additional efforts to retest this yellow resistance line if this initial attempt doesn't quite do the job. So to me, either accelerating upward, continuing in this white channel, or just breaking through it and leaving it behind is the next biggest accelerant. And the third one is obviously establishing some clear support over that 2058 level that you see here in blue. That was the highest level that we had charted at the moment, so we'll add some here in a second. But obviously today it's just sort of stretching its body up through that area today, and didn't really, I mean, on the daily, obviously, has not tested clearly anything higher than this 1904. This 1904 was pretty thoroughly tested. Resistance, resistance, support, confirm support. And so it may not need to confirm support at those levels, but that would, of course, enhance the ability for this breakout to just look a little bit more clean and more clear. But certainly it is not necessary. And it would also sort of boost the strength of those support zones, of course, if we can confirm that they're able to retest and hold. I have no desire for it to dip down there, but this is just, I guess, maybe to say if it does, I wouldn't see that as like a bad thing or a flatlining or blowing up of the breakouts, the breakout has ended or anything like that. But we'll just have to see what it does. So those are my three big things. Yellow line, first on my list, white channel, second on my list, and 2058 and 1993, third on my list. Now, let's zoom out a little bit here because we should do our best to clean this up a little bit, though it's going to still look a little bit annoying. But I'm going to get rid of some of these lower priced points at the moment. I'm going to get rid of this one as well. If we ever need it, we can of course put it back in. I'm going to keep this green one for now, but I'm going to keep that $17 one. But let's toss in what I would look for as the next support and resistance level. Okay, so I think there's a couple that are kind of tied in, which, like I have said before, can be a little bit annoying, but I'm going to dot the ones that I think are slightly less strong and leave solid where I think it's probably stronger. So right here around 2187, that has the resistance here, the support there, the support that flipped to resistance there, these clear pivot points. This was a pivot point here. But then this 2132 did catch a few support and resistance flips as well. But those are the next ones that I would look at. I can toss in something to the higher side here. And this is just to say there will probably be others in between. But I would look at this 2289 as our next sort of like unlock. That'll help us unlock for sure. Oh yeah, that's even bleeds over big time into that one. That'll for sure unlock our ability to make an attempt at 25 is what it looks like to me. So might as well toss that in while we're here. And we'll see how much I'm jinxing everything. So those are the ones that I'm going to look for next. If the uptrend continues and we continue to push, 2132, maybe a bit of friction. 2187 I think would be the actual resistance point. 2289, so about $1 spread there, which is nice. And then potentially about a $2 spread in between those, though if and when we get a clear look at that, I would probably throw something here around 2369, but we can look at it more closely when that time comes. Okay, so that's the daily. Let's go intraday and see how the price action acted today. And we've seen this so many times. Go back to the videos. I don't know what this glitch, obviously this is a glitch in Weeble's chart, leaving this gap during market hours. And that's obviously not a thing I wouldn't expect. But anyway, if we just look at this, we've talked a couple of times before that it often tends to do one of two things. This either strong slingshot, which means it starts strongly in one direction and then basically does the opposite for most of the rest of the day, or it starts in a direction and then tests the VWAP and then maybe retests the VWAP and then just continues on a slight uptrend while retesting the VWAP and or the red 180 SMA, which we've seen play out several times. You watched last week's video, it came up a lot. But this is clearly why we toss in these support and resistance zones again, right? 2058. What did it do? That's almost hit it to the penny here. So it was about 6 cents. Yeah, it hit 2064. So we were within 6 cents of calling that out exactly. What did it do? It came in and tested the VWAP, and then it was essentially like wedging itself between the VWAP and the resistance level that we had charted. And what was it able to do? It was able to make a clear break and retest of the resistance level, that's the pivot. That's flip the resistance to support, confirmed. And then it goes on its way. That was able to allow it to make a run at 21, and it reached it, but it couldn't hold it, obviously. But just another sort of like psychological level in my mind was that $21 level. So I don't think there's actually a ton of resistance there, not at least in the previous price action. Like I say, I think it's more of just a psychological thing at this point. So that's what I'm seeing on the charts. Let's flip over here to this, which came out, this was today, right? Yeah. So 7 a.m. this morning, this company here, they provide AI technology, which allows fintechs to offer consumers more robust access to financial products outside the existing traditional credit models. So this sounds to me like it's something like, I think Upstart is doing like a proprietary machine learning or AI or something to look at factors other than just somebody's credit score when deciding their credit worthiness and whether or not to make a loan to them, and what those terms should be and that sort of thing. This looks like it's that to me. I didn't do any deep dive into this at all, but you can read here. This is what it says that the company does, and it sounds like that to me. So this also doesn't look like it's like an acquisition or something. It's just looking like SoFi is going to start using them. And so, we are excited to leverage SoFi's sophisticated tech platform. I wonder if that's a typo. SoFi sophisticated tech platform. Oh, okay. No, this is right. To originate loans through their AI network. So it's just weird that Noto's saying it like that. But anyway, you could have a look at this. This is not me saying that I think that this is what led to the buying pressure today, but it could be an interesting step in a direction for SoFi as we continue to look for signs and signals that they are going to be able to execute on this big vision that they have. We've been talking about this for months, right? Signs and signals that they are or are not going to be able to execute on this grand vision that they have, this big tent or this one umbrella, on this one-stop shop under which people can handle all of their financing stuffs. And this is just another step in that direction, it looks like to me. So pretty cool there. Let's give old Ortex the refresh just to make sure we're up to date. So estimates by Ortex. Shorts coming in a little over 6% today, probably looking at this and saying, is this just an over-leveraged mess, and it, we can drive it back down to 15, 13, what have you. That's my guess. I don't actually know what shorts think, but that's my guess. But utilization getting up close to 30, but still the current percentage of the free float just 7.76. So nothing tremendously impactful as far as I would say, or my opinion, in terms of it sort of distorting the price action and skewing the vision of selling pressure into the market. So if that gets into double digits, then we'll sort of continue to watch it closely. I watch it every day anyway, but we'll continue to maybe raise some alarm bells and really see what it's doing at that point. If it does start to add any undue pressure to SoFi's stock and price action. All right, folks. Well, I hope that you enjoyed the day today. I don't know why you wouldn't have. If you are trading or swinging or investing in SoFi, congrats. We'll see what the days ahead and the weeks ahead bring, but it's been an interesting journey so far. All right, folks. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.